I've been thinking about this for a while now, and this is something I think every developer in Ghana or outside the US can relate to, but we don't talk about it enough. For the past few days, I've been active on X just trying to get into the tech space and keep myself updated. And I realized something that confirmed what I've been thinking about for a while now. When I started learning programming, one platform that actually helped me the most was YouTube. I was part of the clever programmer community to an extent. It was founded by this guy Kazi. It was a whole empire. It later went down because he did some shady stuff. He took thousands of dollars from people to get them programming jobs at fan companies in 6 to 12 months. Yeah, it didn't go well for him. I watched every single video and every tutorial he put out, and it actually felt like home. I'll say that community really accelerated my interest and boosted my learning, but I outgrew it, and that is when I stumbled upon Theo. He has a more mature community for developers, from mid-level to senior level developers. I was part of this community from mid 2020, and I also stumbled upon the Prime Agent around this time, and I've been watching them ever since. I kind of stopped engaging with them that often somewhere last year, partly because I got a job and I had to focus more on my work and my career. Plus, it was a great achievement for me. I mean, this is like the whole reason a lot of people join tech communities to get a job, and I was pretty satisfied with what I had at the moment. But like all things in life, it wasn't enough. For a long time, I knew something was off, but I just didn't know what. That's when it occurred to me a community. That is what I was missing. So I decided to engage again with Theo's community. It was fun, but I realized there are lots of devs in Ghana that are probably going through the same issue. The thing is, I could have found a solution for my developer loneliness problem if there was that dev community and culture around me here in Ghana. I think there are various factors that are causing this problem. The first one is the developer's dilemma. That is, there are various ways to succeed as a developer. You can get a job at a company, or you can try to build the next Facebook and become a unicorn, or you can go the solopreneur route, that is building multiple apps, generating income for you. But there's the thing, no matter which route you choose, there comes a time in every developer's life where they try to do the whole solopreneur thing. They have this revolutionary idea, they're excited about it. So they go ahead and build the software for it, and then nothing. Most devs abandon the idea at this point. Some start thinking about marketing and then getting more users, but it's already too late. The reality is, no matter how good your ideas are, if you do not have a ready user base before launching your app, you'll be heavily disappointed. And that's not good for anyone. We have great developers not being able to put their work out there in the hands of users. Here's my personal experience. This has happened to me multiple times. I'll have a problem, I'll find a solution for it, build an app to help others in the same situation, only to find out that they are not interested. Yet they still have the same problem, and my app clearly solves that problem. I don't know, man. It is crazy and it's frustrating. And I know I don't feel this pain alone. I know some devs who are in the same situation. They've got ideas but won't even bother to build the apps because they don't believe in users anymore. They've given up before they even start. Mind you, this is a global problem to an extent, but it's very prevalent here in Ghana. Users are extremely reluctant to use new softwares, even if it solves major problems in their lives. So, what's really going on here? Why are we struggling so much? First, let's talk about the user side. In Ghana, people are skeptical about trying new apps, especially ones built by local developers. There's this idea that foreign is better. If it is not from America or Europe or China, it can't be good. And this is very wrong. But I get it, users have been banned before. They've downloaded apps that didn't work properly as promised and had poor user experiences. So they stick to what they know works. But let's be honest, Ghana as a country faces a lot of fundamental challenges that makes it hard for these problems to be solved. When someone is doing hand to mouth, which is just moving from paycheck to paycheck, or They're thinking about their next meal, how to get a stable job, or how to buy data tomorrow. Downloading your productivity app isn't their priority, and they are certainly not going to pay for that. After working in the industry for a while now, what I've realized is that people will only use software that they are required to use. An example is if a company makes a deal with a developer for a software and that software is built, the company requires the employees to use that software. And because they are employees and they don't really have the power to say no, they have to use the app. This is honestly the most efficient and kind of only way to get mass adoption for your software without going crazy because of how difficult it is to get users. I've seen this happen so many times. Here's what I think we are missing. On the developer side, we have our own problems. We work in isolations. We don't share what we are building. We don't get feedback early enough, and when we finally launch, we have no community to support us. I'm not so plugged in into Ghana Dev Twitter or Ghana Dev community in general. I don't even know if it exists. I'm 100% sure it doesn't. At least not like the way it is in other countries. It is something I would like to exist and be vibrant like it is in other countries. We need developers talking to each other, sharing ideas, and helping each other out. Another issue is we have so-called tech influencers, but let's be real, none of these people are actual developers. They don't understand us. They might have played with JavaScript or Python at some point and stopped, but they don't do this enough to be called devs. We need someone who actually codes, or we need people who actually code, who understands our struggles, to be out there talking for us. Another one is the open source issue. One thing I've realized in our community is that we treat code as product, which leads us to hide it a lot of the time because it's our secret. Everyone is being so secretive about what they are building and what they are using to build it. I don't believe in that approach. I don't believe it works anymore. Majority of the time, the code is not a product. It is the drive of the people behind the idea and the user base. That's what makes the difference. And with AI, code is really cheap to produce, and the quality isn't always up to standard, but these things are only getting better. We are all guilty of this secrecy to one extent as devs, which means there's no vibrant ecosystem in Ghana and we actually have to do better. Most of the technologies we use today, they are either open source or built on the backs of open source projects. Obviously, this shouldn't be taken to one extreme. There are certain projects that work best as proprietary, as closed source. We need balance. These are all real problems that we face, but I think they can all be solved. The barrier to entry is really low. You can go to YouTube today and see detailed courses on almost any tech you want, but people don't know this, and they don't know that software development is an option. I honestly didn't know myself until I got into university. I mean, I've heard of web developer when I was learning ICT in senior high school, but these are not the jobs people around me do and they don't even know about it. So I had no idea this was a possibility. I had no idea this is something that could actually pay you money. The only IT job that we are familiar with in Ghana here are computer repairs, printing, and the most advanced one that I can think of is network technician. The next thing is the few developers that we have, they should be more outspoken, because I bet they have nephews and nieces out there who would be interested if they knew what they were doing. Software development should be talked about more as a field. This should help steer them in the right direction. Another one is the university issue. There are universities in Ghana here offering computer science degrees, but I went through the system before. It is not as it should be. And they will introduce the right courses to students, alright, but the way they are being taught is not the best. It is not hands-on enough. And when I say hands-on, I don't mean writing code on paper. Oh my god, it was hell. How do you expect students to write C++ on paper with all the commas and semicolons and things? I think the universities can do a better job at teaching software than what they do now. Once I have identified these problems, I decided to do my part, hence this video. And I urge other devs to be more outspoken, be open to teaching new devs, give them guidance, get them internships. Just do your best to make this space more open and welcoming. If you think I missed some problems or solutions, let me know in the comment section. Until then, see you in the next one.